along to the big quiz night in. I think this is episode 130 now. I hope you're all doing well. Let's see who we've got in the chat this evening then. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me nice and loud and clearly this time. I've made some adjustments my side after a few people said I was quieter than usual last couple of quizzes. So hopefully things are back to normal now. But let's see who's in the chat. So good evening to Sue and the Donuts. Glad you could be here. We've got Pete and Vernia as well saying hello from us. Roy's in the chat saying good evening all. Hope you and Deirdre are well. And we've got Andy saying good evening everyone as well. Thank you for being here watching along live. And good, yes, sound is coming clear perfectly. Thanks for confirming that. Good stuff. Well, we've got the usual kind of lineup tonight in terms of quiz rounds. So 3 random subjects with countdown conundrums along them. At the end, after all of that though, we're just going to be doing catchphrases. I've got 5 special catchphrases lined up to do this evening. So there's no Our Survey Says, but hopefully you'll enjoy what we've got planned. Mark's in the chat as well saying good evening. Sass the Funky Chicken's here. Great to have you. Welcome along. Let's go ahead with the first question of the evening now as we go over to the kids question and see if we can earn you some bonus points to kick off the quiz. Okay, we have got both the kids here now. Can you stand up a little bit? You need to stand up a bit. Abby needs to go down a little bit. Yes, as some of you will know, Abby, myself, and my wife were at the theatre over the weekend. You may have seen a picture we shared. We went to see. She's gone down there now. We went to see the Stranger Things prequel stage show, which was good, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
It was the best play I've ever seen.
Best play you've ever seen. Yes, it was
Better
fantastic.
Than yours? Well, I didn't see mine, did I? I was on the stage.
Anyway, we loved it. It was great. Right. Oh, Vernia says, hello, Abby and Rue. Lovely. Well, let's bring up the question. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure Abby was on to just confirm that we absolutely loved the show. But the question today comes from Ruben. So we're going to get him to read out the question and the answers, and we'll get Abby to read out the winners. Okay, so the question is as follows. And please, as always, guess this in the comments. A, B, C or D?
Which decade did I recently learn about in history at school? 1680s, 1780s, 1880s or 1980s?
Oh, this is what you did a question about.
Which decade did he recently learn about in history at school?
It's funny. It's funny. I'll tell you.
Well, it's interesting, isn't
How
it?
are they supposed to know?
They're not supposed to know. They have to guess. That's the whole point.
Good luck.
Yes. What decade? Everybody have a guess. A, B, C or D. And,
I know what decade I'm learning about.
Yeah, which one are you learning about now?
I don't know.
You said you knew. You don't know.
well, it's not on there. I'm
It's not
learning
on
about 1066.
1066.
The Battle of Hastings.
Correct. Yes. Well done.
I mean, technically, we've already finished that topic, but they keep on bringing it up. So, like,
well,
now we're just learning about maps.
It's important.
And it's boring.
Okay. Right, any more guesses then? Any more guesses? Lock your answers in, please. Right, so we have got Vernia saying D, Roy's saying C, Sue is saying C, Andy's saying B, Mark is saying A. Right, the answer is
this one.
Oh man.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Okay. All bases were covered in those guesses there. Ruben, yeah, he's learned about the 80s. I mean, that was only like 20 years ago, surely, wasn't it? No?
No. That was 40 years ago.
God.
Over 40 years
43 years ago.
Thanks for confirming that, guys.
Quick math.
Yes, yeah, exactly, Sue. Wow. In history, in primary school, they are teaching my son about the 1980s. Now you understand why I wanted to do this question for you, even though you had no chance of actually knowing the answer.
And
history
the
now.
very bad president.
And
yeah.
Prime Minister.
Just to rub it in that you're all old if you were born in the 1980s.
What?
You're old because
Born.
it's history.
You're old. History. You're incarnated.
I think I'm the
in
only
history.
one. I think I'm the only one that was born in the 80s out of everybody that might be watching and playing and in this room. Most definitely. I don't know. So just be careful.
You're incarnated in history.
Incarnated
You're gonna be in
You
the
see what we have to put up
museums.
with? Andy says that means we're all ancient history. Yeah.
You guys
Oh.
are ancient.
Roy says that's the decade I left
Sorry.
his primary school. Vernia's like, yeah, because she got it right, I think. Abby, can you just confirm who said D?
Vernia.
Yes, Vernia. Vernia and Pete, you get yourself a bonus point to spend on any of the next 3 quiz rounds. Very well done. Oh, sorry, Roy says senior school. Okay. And he says, reminds me of Shakespeare's Sister, Your History. I think that's a song. Shakespeare's Sister were a pop group. Okay. I don't know what Vernie just said. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. But
Verniasaurus.
Biosaurus, I think.
Viosaurus.
I didn't realise this was an English class, but okay.
Viosaurus. Viosaurus? Something like that. Okay.
Can you please
Verniasaurus.
explain that?
I need to crack on. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. And
Goodbye.
as usual, that's
Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Right, yes, the 1980s. That was apparently history today. In fairness, he's learning about the 1900s in general. So, of course, today was the later 1900s, which just feels so weird to say, but the 1980s. Vernia plus dinosaur, yes. Vernia plus dinosaur. The Viosaurus. Okay, I like it. Yes. Because we're all so old. Oh, where did the time go? Ah, dear. Okay, right. Well, the 3 quiz rounds, and let's move on to some slightly happier topics. The 3 quiz rounds are along the bottom of the screen now. We will go through those one at a time. There is also the countdown conundrum. That will be different for each of those quiz rounds as usual. The first one we're going to do is a very straightforward TV and films round. Most of the questions are 1-point questions, so it's a very straightforward round tonight for round 1. We've then got a sport round, and then we're going to do a round called All American as a guest kind of mystery round. It's basically a general knowledge potluck kind of trivia round where any subject or theme goes, but it is connected to American, USA, that kind of thing. Just something a bit different to do. Then we're going to get into the catchphrase round, okay? That'll be the game shows round this evening, and I've got 5 of them. And they all follow a theme like we did last week, so I hope you like it. Okay, so for this round then, TV and films, keep the answers to yourself. Let me know your scores at the end. I will do repeats of questions if you need me to at the end of each round as well, because that gives thinking time for all of you. Don't put any more guesses in the chat, but feel free to say anything else you like, and let's have some fun. So, question number 1 in TV and films, which actress played Erin Brockovich on film? Which actress played Erin Brockovich on film? Question number 2. Which TV character works at the Krusty Krab? Question 2. Which TV character works at the Krusty Krab? Question number 3. What have Alexander Armstrong, Boris Johnson and Bruce Forsyth all got in common? What have Alexander Armstrong, Boris Johnson and Bruce Forsyth all got in common? Question number 4 now. Question 4. In which movie does Tom Cruise play a stock car driver? In which movie does Tom Cruise play a stock car driver? Question 5 now. Question number 5. On which TV show could you watch Pigs in Space? On which TV show could you watch Pigs in Space? Question number 6 now. Question 6. Which actor won a Best Actor Oscar for The Kiss of the Spider Woman? Which actor won a Best Actor Oscar for The Kiss of the Spider Woman? Okay, question number 7 now. Question 7. Which actor played Lieutenant Mitch Buchanan on TV? Which actor played Lieutenant Mitch Buchanan on TV? Question 8 now. I'll give you multiple choice for question 8. Which was the first colour movie to win a Best Picture Oscar? Was it The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, or Rebecca? Which was the first colour movie to win a Best Picture Oscar? Was it The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, or Rebecca? Okay, question number 9 now. Question 9. Which comedian hosted the series World Shut Your Mouth in 2005? Which comedian hosted the series World Shut Your Mouth in 2005? Question number 10 now. Question 10. What have Marge Simpson and Jackie Onassis got in common? What have Marge Simpson and Jackie Onassis in common? Okay, question 11 now. Question 11. In which 1968 cartoon could you find the Blue Meanies? In which 1968 cartoon could you find the Blue Meanies? Question number 12 now. Question 12. Which two actors have played Mark Fowler in EastEnders? 1 point for each. Which two actors have played Mark Fowler in EastEnders? 1 point for each. Okay, question 13 now. Question 13. Which spaceship featured a hollyhock drive? Which spaceship featured a hollyhock drive? Question 14 now. 2 more questions to go for this round. Question 14. Where was Sergeant Ernest Bilko stationed? Where was Sergeant Ernest Bilko stationed? And finally, question 15. What is Homer J. Simpson's middle name? What is Homer J. Simpson's middle name? Okay, that's the end of that round. As I said, quite a straightforward one there. Only, I think, one question there is worth more than 1 point. The rest are all, the rest are all 1-pointers. So pretty straightforward, but some of those questions are pretty tough, I think. I wonder how many you're going to get. If you need me to repeat any of those, let me know now in the comments. It might give everybody else a bit of thinking time as well if you do that. So it might be quite helpful for everybody if there is a repeat that you wanted. Also, of course, you have got this countdown conundrum. If you guess that correctly, then you've got yourself 2 extra points. So you can add that onto your tally for this round. And of course, if you got the kids' question right at the start, which I think it was only Vernier and Pete that got it right actually in the end. Remember, you can use that bonus point whenever you like over the next 3 rounds. So, yes, let me know if you want any questions repeated then. Let's see how well you've got on, because I will go through the answers in just a moment. Thank you to those of you who have already interacted with the video, giving it a like or an appropriate emoji reaction. It's always appreciated. Make sure you do that before you go, by the way, if you haven't done so already. It does help out. Every little interaction does with these. So, have we got any more requests coming in? I think you've all done all right. Yes, we are doing good. All right, I'm going to go through the answers then, and let's see how well you did. You can tally up your scores and then let me know how well you did in the comments once you've got that total. So, question 1, which actress played Erin Brockovich on film? It was Julia Roberts. Question 2, which TV character works at the Krusty Krab? That is SpongeBob SquarePants. Question 3, what have Alexander Armstrong, Boris Johnson and Bruce Forsyth all got in common? They have all presented Have I Got News for You. Question 4, in which movie does Tom Cruise play a stock car driver? It is Days of Thunder. Question 5, on which TV show could you watch pigs in space? That was part of The Muppet Show. Question 6, which actor won a Best Actor Oscar for The Kiss of the Spider-Woman? It's William Hurt. Question 7, which actor played Lieutenant Mitch Buchanan on TV? That was David Hasselhoff in Baywatch. Question 8, which was the first colour movie to win a Best Picture Oscar? Was it The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, or Rebecca? It was Gone with the Wind. Question 9, which comedian hosted the series World Shut Your Mouth in 2005? That was Dom Jolly. Question 10, what have Marge Simpson and Jackie Onassis in common? Their maiden names were both Bouvier. Question 11, in which 1968 cartoon could you find the Blue Meanies? That was in Yellow Submarine. Question 12, which 2 actors played Mark Fowler in EastEnders? 1 point for each, that's Todd Carty and David Scarborough. Question 13, which spaceship featured a hollyhock drive? That is Red Dwarf. Question 14, where was Sergeant Ernest Bilko stationed? Sergeant Bilko was stationed at Fort Baxter. And finally, question 15, what is Homer J. Simpson's middle name? It's just J. It's J-A-Y. Homer J. Simpson. The answer was in the question. Now, the answer then for the Countdown Conundrum for 2 extra points was first hand. First hand. For 2 bonus points if you got that. So tally up your scores. Let's see how well you did. Whilst you're doing that, I'll remind anybody watching that if you are watching a repeat of this, if you're not watching it live, you can still leave your comments. I do respond to them when they come in as much as I can. So feel free to leave a comment and let me know how well you do throughout the show. Even if you're not watching live, it is always appreciated. Every engagement helps. And in the description of the video, there is the usual link which will take you through to my Beacon page, which has got everywhere else you can go to support me and what I do here on Big Quiz Night In. Okay, so with all that said, let's see some scores coming in those comments then, please. It was a tricky round, you're right, there were some tricky questions there, Mark. But you got 8 plus 2, so you did get the conundrum, very good. Roy says they got 11 points for Znit Znada Znit. The Donuts have got themselves 10 points. Very good. So there's 16 points available in the quiz round itself, plus the 2 points for the conundrum. So technically, the maximum score was 18 points, yes, that you could have got. 6 hard-earned points for me. TV and Films Jinx strikes again. I know, Andy, I'm sorry, mate. But still, 6 points is good for a tricky round. Vernia says 10 plus 1 for us. Okay, yeah, add on that bonus point, why not? Good. Okay, all right. Well, I think that's everybody, isn't it now? It's a quiet one tonight, so let's move straight on to round number 2 and see how well you do in a sport round. So you have a new conundrum on screen now. So 2 extra points, of course, if you get that one. This sports round is a bit more traditional in terms of the rounds you might be used to if you watched any previous quizzes at all that I've done here, because there are several multiple point questions this time round. So I will give you a little bit more thinking time on those ones if you need it, but of course I'll do repeats if you need those at the end as well. Question number 1. Which are the 3 longest Olympic track events for men and women? 1 point for each. Which are the 3 longest Olympic track events for men and women? 1 point for each. Question number 2. What does the acronym PGA stand for to the likes of Tiger Woods? What does the acronym PGA stand for to the likes of Tiger Woods? 1 point for each correct word. Okay, question 3 now. Question 3. The Vitality Roses play which sport? The Vitality Roses play which sport? Right, then your next question is question number 4. Which 2 nations are the current holders of the men's and women's FIFA World Cups? Which 2 nations are the current holders of the men's and the women's FIFA World Cups? Again, 1 point for each. Question 5 then is for another 2 points. Florence Griffith Joyner is a world record holder in which 2 events? Florence Griffith Joyner is a world record holder in which 2 events? Yeah, 1 point for each on that one, and 1 point for each on this next question as well. For question 6, this is for 3 points. In which sports could you win the Admiral's Cup, the Stanley Cup, and the Commissioner's Trophy? In which sports could you win the Admiral's Cup, the Stanley Cup, and the Commissioner's Trophy? Question 7 for another 3 points. Whose American football teams are Vikings, Cowboys, and Patriots? Whose American football teams are Vikings, Cowboys, and Patriots? Question number 8 now. Question 8. The Creed movies are films based on which sport? the Creed movies are films based on which sport? Okay, your next question then is question number 9. This is true or false. So, question 9, true or false? Squash has never been part of the Summer Olympic Games. True or false? Squash has never been part of the Summer Olympic Games. Alright, question number 10 now. Question 10. Which annual Formula One Grand Prix has the shortest laps? Monaco, Silverstone, or Suzuka? Which Formula One Grand Prix have the shortest laps? Monaco, Silverstone, or Suzuka? Okay, the next question then. Which 3 of England's bowlers have taken the most test wickets? Which 3 of England's bowlers have taken the most test wickets? Obviously, for those kind of questions, you don't have to put them in the right order or anything, just name the 3 bowlers. Question 12 now. Question 12. What number did David Beckham famously wear for Manchester United? What shirt number did David Beckham famously wear for Manchester United? Question number 13 now. Question 13. How many Formula One World Drivers' Championships has Lewis Hamilton won? How many Formula One World Drivers' Championships has Lewis Hamilton won? Question 14 now. Question 14. Who captained England at the 2023 Rugby World Cup finals in France? Who captained England at the 2023 Rugby World Cup finals in France? And your final question, this one's actually for 5 points. So question 15, James Milner has scored Premier League goals for which 5 clubs? James Milner has scored Premier League goals for which 5 clubs? 1 point for each, of course. You've got a little bit of thinking time now. Obviously, you can let me know if you need a question repeated. And you are running out of time with the countdown conundrum as well. 2 bonus points if you can get the countdown conundrum correct. Add that onto your score. Imagine that James Milner one's going to require a little bit more thinking time. Sue and the Donuts are asking for question 6 to be repeated. Okay, let's just bring that up for you. Yeah, so this one was for 3 points. For question 6, in which sports could you win the Admiral's Cup, the Stanley Cup, and the Commissioner's Trophy? 3 different sports, 1 point for each. Any more for any more? Just keep an eye on the chat, see if anything else comes up, but if it doesn't, I will make a start with the answers for this round. Nope. Okay, let's go through the answers then. All right, question number 1. Which are the 3 longest Olympic track events for men and women? So 1 point for each. They are the 10,000 metres, the 5,000 metres, and the 3,000 metre steeplechase. Question 2. What does the acronym PGA stand for to Tiger Woods? It is the Professional Golfers Association. Question 3. The Vitality Roses play which sport? It is netball. Question 4. Which 2 nations are the current holders of the men's and women's FIFA World Cups? 1 point for each. The Argentina men's team won in 2022, and this year it was Spain for the Women's World Cup. Question 5. Florence Griffith Joyner is the world record holder in which 2 events? That is the 100 metres and the 200 metres. Question 6. In which sports could you win the Admiral's Cup, the Stanley Cup, and the Commissioner's Trophy? It's yachting for the Admiral's Cup, the Stanley Cup for ice hockey, or ice hockey for the Stanley Cup, and for baseball and the Commissioner's Trophy. Yachting, ice hockey, baseball, 1 point for each. Question 7. Whose American football teams are Vikings, Cowboys, and Patriots? It is the Minnesota Vikings, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New England Patriots. So for 3 points there again, Minnesota, Dallas, New England. Question 8. The Creed movies are films based around which sport? It is boxing. They are spin-off movies from the Rocky franchise. I think Rocky was in the first 2 Creed films. He wasn't in the third, and there's a 4th one that's going to be made now. I doubt he'll be in that either, to be honest. I think they've kind of moved away from that now, which is a shame. But hey, they're pretty good films. Question 9. True or false, squash has never been part of the Summer Olympic Games. Amazingly, it's true. It has never been part of the Olympic Games, although it might be in the 2024 Olympics, because they're trying to get it in again. And it was in the Youth Summer Olympic Games, which is obviously a totally separate thing, so it doesn't count. More recently, though, it was. And that has apparently meant that there's more of a chance of it being accepted in the proper Olympics. I'm astounded that it hasn't been put in, to be honest. I don't know why it hasn't been. Seems the perfect kind of sport to be in the Olympics, but no, never before. So, true was the answer there. Question 10. Which annual Formula 1 Grand Prix has the shortest laps? It is the Monaco Grand Prix. Question 11. Which 3 of England's bowlers have taken the most test wickets? James Anderson, Stuart Broad, and Ian Botham. Those are the the 3 most highest test wicket takers. Have been for quite some time now. Question 12. What number did David Beckham famously wear for Manchester United? He wore number 7. Question 14. Who captained England at the 2023 Rugby World Cup finals in France? It was Owen Farrell. And question 15. The 5 clubs for James Milner are Leeds United when they were in the Premier League. This is Newcastle, Aston Villa, Manchester City, and Liverpool. 5 points there. The answer for the Countdown Conundrum tonight was, for this one, scientist. Oh, I missed 13. My apologies. It's 7. Question 13. Lewis Hamilton has won 7 Formula One World Drivers' Championships. Sorry about that. So, as always, then tally up your scores. Let me know how many you've got. We'll see how well you've done. And we move on to our All-American round next. Yes. I'll tell you why I missed it as I was scrolling through these answers. Is because both 12 and 13, the answer is 7. So I just saw 7 and moved to the next one when I looked back at my screen. Oh dear. Classic mistake. Okay. Yes, so let's see how many points you've got then. One thing to make you aware of while those scores are coming in, keep your eyes peeled, as you always should, with the Facebook page here, because I am in discussions with a reasonably local charity to do a charity quiz night, which will be a virtual and online one. Anybody will be welcome to join. A small donation will be your entry fee, and it'll probably be a speed quizzing thing where most of you that are watching now will be aware. You have the app on your phone to tap what you think the answer is. It'll be that kind of thing. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me to confirm they want to go ahead. And then hopefully there'll be some nice little charity event coming up. Probably just after Christmas sometime, I'm thinking. January, we'll see. But I'm going to start pushing them because they really do need some support at the moment. So just waiting for them to confirm what they want. But that's good. Haven't done some charity work for a while, so it's nice to get back into that kind of stuff. Okay, scores have come in then. The Donuts have got 27 points, and they got the Conundrum, including the Conundrum, I should say. 20 points for Andy, well done. Britzillions, 14 plus 2. Great score there. 24 plus 2 for Mark. 28 points for Roy. I believe squash has been in the Commonwealth Games, but never the Olympics. Ah, yeah, it might well have been. That's a good question as well. Yeah, I like that. Nice one, Chris, says Vernia. Yeah, I really do want to start sharing it sooner rather than later, to be honest. But if for whatever reason they say they're not interested, well, I'll probably start looking for something else to do in terms of supporting a charity, because I haven't done that kind of stuff since the pandemic, when I was really pushing everything I did here for the first time online, and we did a lot of charity kind of fundraising things, and it was pretty good for those charities. Now that's kind of moved on. There's another one that could do with some help, I think. Yeah, we'll see. But I will announce it as soon as I can. Right, so here we go, round number 3. This is the All-American quiz round. So like I said, general knowledge, any subject goes, but it is all connected to Americans and the USA in general. See how you go with this one. And you've got a new countdown conundrum, of course, there. Maybe a little bit trickier, this one. Maybe. We'll see if you can get that right for a bonus 2 points before we get into our catchphrase round after this. So, 15 more questions. Here we go with question number 1. Name the smallest and largest American states by area. Of course, 1 point for each. Name the smallest and the largest American states by area. Question number 2 now. Question 2 for 3 points. Albany, Sacramento, and Richmond are the capitals of which American states? Albany, Sacramento, and Richmond are the capitals of which American states? Question number 3 now. Question 3. The TV series called South Park is set in which American state? The TV series called South Park is set in which American state? Okay, then question 4 now. Question 4. What was the name of the man who founded the Church of Scientology? What was the name of the man who founded the Church of Scientology? Right, next question and question number 5. Who is the richest man in America today? Who is the richest man in America today? Okay. Next question, question number 6. How many stars were on the United States flag during World War II? How many stars were on the United States flag during World War II? Okay, the next question. Question 7. Which 3 women have served the role of Secretary of State in the United States of America? Which 3 women have served the role of Secretary of State in the United States of America? Question number 8 now. Question 8. Which American football side won the Super Bowl in 2016? Which American football side won the Super Bowl in 2016? Just take a wild guess at a random team. Perhaps you know ones that tend to do well. It's going to be tricky to work out, I think, exactly which one it could be from that. But having said that, if you've got the answers so far, it may be connected to one of them. The team may be connected, and is connected, in fact, to the answers of one of the questions we just had. I'll leave it at that. Question number 9 now. Question 9 is for 3 points. Which 3 words do Americans use for jelly, fish fingers, and for a pushchair? Which 3 words do Americans use for jelly, fish fingers, and a pushchair? Right, question number 10 now. Question 10. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is the address of which famous American building? 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is the address of which famous American building? Alright, your next question in question number 11. Which 3 American car manufacturers produced the Mustang, the El Camino, and the Firebird? Which 3 American car manufacturers produced the Mustang, the El Camino, and the Firebird? Question number 12 now. Question 12. Which American city is known as the Windy City? Which American city is known as the Windy City? Question 13 now. This is for 4 points. Which 4 American states have the word new in their name? Which 4 American states have the word new in their name? Okay, then your next question is question 14. This is for 3 more points. Sean Carter, Andre Young, and Sean Combs are the real names of which 3 world-famous American hip-hop stars? Sean Carter, Andre Young, and Sean Combs are the real names of which 3 world-famous American hip-hop stars? And your final question, question 15, which 4 American states share a land border with Mexico? Which 4 American states share a land border with Mexico? Again, 1 point for each. Last chance as well now to work out what you think the answer is for the countdown conundrum. 2 bonus points if you get that correct. If you want any questions repeated, let me know now, as we are going to go through the answers in just a moment. We'll see how well you've done. Whilst we wait, the 14 for the donuts. I'll let you know now the catchphrases I've got lined up for you. The theme of them tonight is classic British sitcoms. So there'll be a picture or a GIF, an animation, or something like that behind the board. We've got 5 of them if you've got time to go through them all. And yeah, they're all British sitcoms, so it should be quite fun for you to work out, I think. All largely very well-known ones. Which the reason I've got 5 is because we'll be quite quick to go through them, I think. That'll be good fun. Question 14 again then was Sean Carter, Andre Young, and Sean Combs are the real names of which 3 world-famous American hip-hop stars? Okay, no more requests for repeats have come in, so I am about to go through those answers. Obviously 1 point for each again, and then you can tally up your scores and let me know how well you did. So, let's go. Question number 1. Name the smallest and largest American states by area. It is Rhode Island and Alaska. Question 2. Albany, Sacramento, and Richmond are the capitals of which American states? It is New York, California, and Virginia. Albany, New York, Sacramento, California, Richmond, Virginia. Question 3. South Park is set in Colorado. Question 4. What was the name of the man who founded the Church of Scientology? It is L. Ron Hubbard. Question 5. Who is the richest man in America today? It is Elon Musk. Question 6. How many stars were on the United States flag during World War II? There were 48 stars. Alaska and Hawaii had not joined the United States at that point. Question 7. Which 3 women had served the role of Secretary of State in the United States of America? It is Madeleine Albright, Condoleezza Rice, and Hillary Clinton. Question 8. Which American football sides won the Super Bowl in 2016? I mentioned that they'd been linked in a previous answer. The link before was for question 3 in Colorado, because the answer is the Denver Broncos. Denver, Colorado, also referenced a lot in South Park, funnily enough. And the Denver Broncos themselves have been as well. Question number 9. Which 3 words do Americans use for jelly, fish fingers, and a pushchair? It is Jell-O, fish sticks, and a stroller. Question 10. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is the address of which famous American building? It is the White House. Question 11. Which 3 American car manufacturers produced the Mustang, the El Camino, and the Firebird? It is the Ford Mustang, the Chevrolet El Camino, and the Pontiac Firebird. Question 12. Which American city is known as the Windy City? That is Chicago. Question 13. Which 4 American states have the word new in their name? It is New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire, New Mexico. Question 14. Sean Carter, Andre Young, and Sean Combs are the real names of which 3 world-famous American hip-hop stars? It is Jay-Z for Sean Carter, Andre Young is Dr. Dre, and Sean Combs is P. Diddy, formerly Puff Daddy. Question 15. Which 4 American states share a land border with Mexico? We already had New Mexico mentioned. That is one of them. Arizona, California, and Texas. The answer for the countdown conundrum tonight for round 3 was exporters. 2 bonus points if you got that correct. So let's see how many points you've scored in that round then before we move on to the catchphrases round. Plenty of points up for grabs in that one. As always with the catchphrase round, I'm going to be asking you questions throughout it, pretty much throughout it. We might do the last one maybe without these questions, but there'll be general knowledge questions I ask you across the usual Trivia Pursuit subjects. So a little bit of something for everybody, I hope, in the next round, along with those catchphrases to guess. 22 plus 2 for the Funky Chickens. What a Markin team. Vernia says 18 plus 2 for Britzillians. Good effort. The Donuts have got 26 and got the conundrum as well. Andy says 25 plus 2. That's 27. My highest score of the night on that round. Wasn't expecting that. Very good. And 29 for Deirdre and myself. Well done to you both as well, Roy. Excellent score. Oh, Maddie's joined us as well. That's nice. Late to the party, but 23 plus 2. Late to the party, also good pub quiz team name. I quite often see that actually, typically with teams that are a bit late. So yeah, I like it. Thank you for being here. We're going to move on to our catchphrase round now then, everybody. Let's see how well you get on with these. So let's just complete the board again. I've obviously pressed some numbers before loading this up. And there's the wheel. Let's get that out of the way as well for you. So, as I mentioned a moment ago, these are going to be British sitcoms behind the board. Okay, so you need to guess what they are. Now we're going to do this like we did last time. In that, right, we're going to start with that one now. I've just chosen which of the 5 we're going to start with. So I'll ask you a question. Oh, Roy says got all 3 conundrums for the first time tonight. Excellent. Yes, it's always good when you work those out as well. Get yourself some bonus points. Great one. So I'll ask you some questions. As I ask the question, guess in the comments what you think the answer is. You give yourself a point if I say that you got it correct. Whilst that's happening, I'm going to spin the wheel, and that wheel will determine which square of the board we are going to reveal. Anybody can then guess what they think it is. If you guess it correctly, you get a bonus point. If you got the questions correct, but you didn't get it in the comments in time, don't worry, you can still give yourself a point. See how many points you get from the questions you ask correctly, and if you work out what the sitcom is behind the board, you can tally them up and let me know how you did at the end of this round if you want to. But this is just a fun way, I think, to finish off the evening and to incorporate a game like catchphrase. So let's see how well you do with this. But yes, do guess in the comments now. So question number 1 then is going to be, what is the capital city of Croatia? And we're going to be removing, as I said, I've got 5 of these lined up because I think some of these we're going to get very quickly. Number 5. Okay, so guess in the comments then, what do you think is the capital of Croatia? For a point for your team. And I'm going to remove number 5 in just a moment. We have got some guesses in. Zagreb has been guessed. Dubrovnik's been guessed as well. And well done to Sue and the Donuts. You got the answer in quickest. It is Zagreb. Sorry, Mark, it's not Dubrovnik. But yes, if you put Zagreb, you get yourself a point. And let's see if you can work out what this is. That's actually a pretty good... yeah, it might be a good enough one to get it right. If you can work out what that is. I'm going to ask another question. I think we're going to fly through these. I should have got trickier pictures the more I think about it. Which British sitcom is that we're playing in the background? The next one we're going to be removing is number 1. Yes, number 1 will be removed. The question is, which actor won an Oscar for his role in Ridley Scott's Gladiator? The question's still valid, so please do answer that question regardless of guesses you see in the comments. Which actor won an Oscar for his role in Ridley Scott's Gladiator? I can see some of you guessing what you think this is as well in the chat. Let's have a look. We have got Mark and Pete and Sue all saying, is it the young ones? And Roy is now saying the young ones as well. Yes, it is the young ones. Let me just remove the rest of the board. You can see the full scene that's playing out there. There you go. Look, there it is. Ah, brilliant. Okay. Points all round then if you said that. And yes, keep guessing on what you think the answer is for that Oscars question while I change the board over. Ridley Scott's Gladiator, who was it? We've had a couple of guesses in already. Is that the correct one? We'll find out in just a moment. And the next board is ready to go. I can close down that wheel now and move on to the next one. So the answer is indeed Russell Crowe. You get yourself a point if you said Russell Crowe. And we are going to be removing from this board with a brand new picture behind it, another sitcom. We're going to be removing, is it number 9 or is it going to roll over to number 1? It's number 9. Okay, all right. Let's see how helpful this one is then. Not so helpful this time. So, yes, the question is, now we've responded to the Russell Crowe one. In which island did Napoleon die on? Which island did Napoleon die on? There were 3 islands famously connected to Napoleon. He was he was born on one island, he was exiled on another island, and then he ultimately died on a 3rd island. So which island did he die on? Okay, let's spin the wheel then and see which one we're going to be removing. You've all gone with St. Helena. It is St. Helena. Very good. You guys really do know your stuff. We're going to be removing number 5. This may be crucial. It may give it away already. Maybe. Maybe. I think you might need number 2 to really get it quickly. But who knows? Is that going to be enough? Feel free to have a guess. Your next question, who wrote The Importance of Being Earnest? Who wrote The Importance of Being Earnest? Anybody can guess what you think the sitcom is. Anybody can guess what that answer is as well now, of course. And if somebody gets it right, then the question rolls over to the next one. So keep your guesses coming in. Give everybody a few more seconds to put something in the chat. All right, Andy and Maddie are gone with Oscar Wilde for that one. Roy's had a guess at the catchphrase. He's gone with Father Ted. Is that Father Ted? Let's have a look. Is that the correct answer? Yes, it is. Well done. Okay, let's just reveal the rest of the board then. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Yes, it is Father Ted. Well done. So a point for you for that. And if, yes, everybody that said Father Ted in the chat or whatever, it's fine. Give yourself a point. But Roy's got it first there. Andy says, or, as I once guessed wrong in the music round, Oasis. Okay. Yes. Oh, of course, because they wrote, yeah, Oscar Wilde wrote The Importance of Being Earnest. Didn't Oasis do The Importance of Being Idle or something like that? It was something different, wasn't it? Yeah, very good. Okay, let's reset the board. Oscar Wilde is indeed the correct answer. So I'm going to load up the next one now. And let's... Oh, wait, yes, that is it. This is why I'm the quiz master. Doesn't really mean I know everything. It's far from it. So here we go then. This is one of my favourites. I hope you like this one. Okay, so if you said Oscar Wilde, then we're going to be removing. You get a bonus point, of course, and the next point is going to be for if you work this one out, and then I'll ask the next question. We're going to be removing number 7. That might not be so helpful. I'll be astounded if you get it right off of that. Let's read another question out. You can have a guess if you want. But the next question is, who captained England at the 2018 FIFA World Cup finals in Russia? That feels like a lifetime ago, eh? Who captained England at the 2018 FIFA World Cup finals in Russia? Have a guess at that. Interesting. Roy reckons he's got it. He says, is it the Only Fools and Horses Batman scene? Astounded. Am I astounded? I am astounded. Wowzers. Have a look at this. I really thought that would need another square or two. Wow. Or at least one more square. It is the infamous Batman scene. Yes. Well done. The question is still valid for the England captain, though, because we have got more to go through. How are we doing for time, actually? Oh, we're well ahead of time. Maybe I should have sorted out some more. Okay. So yes, have a guess. Who was the captain of England at the FIFA Men's World Cup Finals 2018 in Russia? And I need to get rid of that. I need to reset the board as well. So let me just do that. Send that away. And all right. Let's see how you get on with this next one. Your favourite programme of all time? Do you know, it's probably many people's favourite. I mean, it's certainly the best, in my opinion, and I know many others, the best British sitcom of all time. Probably just the best sitcom in general, even if you include the best of the American ones, for example. Wasn't seen as that to begin with, though. I saw a documentary thing about it a couple of days ago, actually. And the cast and the crew were saying things like, oh, you know, nobody really watched the first series when it was on. But then the BBC were in a position where they just needed to fill their schedule with stuff, so they just kept putting out repeats of it. And then it started to get a bit more popular, and then they made more, and obviously then the rest is history. But initially, didn't really get that kind of accolade that it's certainly got today and years later would get. But yeah, absolutely brilliant show. Okay, so we've got a new wheel, we've got a new board. Harry Kane is the answer for that question. Harry Kane was the captain of the England national team at the 2018 FIFA World Cup finals. Well done. Let's see which square we're going to be revealing then. Now some of you have got that one right. Number 2. Okay, all right. Let's see how quickly you can work this one out then, shall we? Let me just do this and... Ah. What could this one be, I wonder? Your next question. Which element has the following chemical symbol? Fe. F for foxtrot. Which element has the following chemical symbol? Fe. Guess that in the comments, or have a guess at what you think the answer is for this catchphrase. Another British sitcom. Get your guesses in the comments now. Yes, well done everybody. It is iron. If you said iron, give yourself a point. We're going to be removing number 6. Let's remove... Oh, no. What's it doing? Yes, number 6 has been removed. Okay, alright. Let's go with number 6. Pete has already had a guess in the chat. He says, is it the IT crowd? Wow. Very good. You actually guessed before I revealed number 6 to give you the credit as well that you deserve, along with Roy getting the last one right very quickly. It is the IT crowd. Look at that. It's not even the actual show. It's just an animation. I think that's from the intro, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, you guys are too good at this. I'm going to have to find some more obscure ones next time. I do have one more to go. I'm not even going to hesitate to guess at how quick you might get this next one right. But let me reset the board and we'll go through this again for the last time this evening. We can get rid of that wheel. Okay, I'm going to ask you your next question, and the board is now ready for the final guesses. Yes, and well done to Maddie as well. You got it in the chat too, nice and quick. Yeah, I used to love that too. It was a great show. Very funny. And anytime Richard Ayoade pops up on anything, ever since then, I'm just like, yes, because he's brilliant. He's just so funny. He's basically himself on the show in so many ways. Or at least that's how he portrays himself in pretty much everything else. Even when he's just being himself, he seems like that's just who he is. Okay, the next question then. Which element has the chemical symbol Hg? Which element has the chemical symbol Hg? So guess that in the comments. We are going to be removing first. Which number is it going to be? Number 2 again. Oh, okay, the board's been kind. That might... not going to be enough? Maybe, yeah, maybe enough. Couple of guesses in for Mercury, I can see in the comments. That is indeed the correct answer. Well done to Andy, Maddie, and now Roy as well. Yes, Mercury. Give yourself a point, and even if you weren't quite fast enough to enter it, if you think you knew that one, you're welcome to a point. Let's do the reveal then for square 2. I'm going to ask you another question, but you can guess what you think that is. I think somebody's going to get it before I do the next one. Your next question, though, is which scale is used to measure the intensity of an earthquake? Which scale is used to measure the intensity of an earthquake? Let's see how well you do with this one then. The scale used to measure the intensity of an earthquake. And let's spin the wheel now. Richter scale, well done. Most of you are getting that in there. Richter scale is the correct answer. We're going to be removing number 3 now. Nobody's guessed at what they think it is. We're actually going to need to take away the next square then. So number 3, I actually think this is the one that will do it. I can't believe it's gone this way. All right. The Depends how well you can see your screen. If you're using a smaller screen, it might be a bit trickier. But for those of you watching on me on a bigger screen, you might be all right with that one. Now you can see a bit more of the face of another character. I will ask the next question anyway, but I do think somebody's going to get it now. Right, where were we? I want to know the answer to this next question anyway, alright? So, let's go with Remember Me was the 2017 winner of the Oscar for Best Song, but which film is it from? Remember Me was the 2017 winner of the Oscar for Best Song, but which film is it from? Maybe you guys will need another bit of time. Maybe you'll need another square or two. Maybe. And that was maybe a bit of a tricky question as well. I'll keep an eye on the comments. I might have to give you a bit more clues or change the question up a bit more if we don't get any guesses in. I will narrow it down for you. I'll narrow it down for you by saying it was a Disney movie. It was a Disney movie that won in 2017. It was a movie made by Pixar and released by Disney. Has that given you any ideas yet? No. It's not Moana. I've just seen that one come up. It's not Moana. Mark's gone with Coco though. It is Coco. Very good. Which one are we going to be removing then? Well done. That was a trickier question there, but you got it in the end. Funky Chickens get a point for Coco. We're going to be removing number 8 now. Not Frozen, I'm afraid, no. The comments might be a bit delayed there. So no, not Frozen. It was Coco. Very good. Well done to Mark. I'm going to move on to the next question. I think maybe 1 or 4. You need the bits that's on the far left maybe to give you a bit more of a clue for this one. I'm glad this has taken a little bit longer. I know some of you definitely know this though. Okay, right, where were we? The next question then. Which author created the literary character named Elizabeth Bennet? Which author created the literary character named Elizabeth Bennet? And I'll spin the wheel in just a moment. Definitely worth a guess, this one. The literary character created, named Elizabeth Bennet. Who was that created by? A classic. One of the classics, I should say. Going to spin the wheel then. Maddie says Jane Austen. Roy's gone with Roald Dahl. It's not Roald Dahl. It is Jane Austen. Appreciate your guesses there. We're going to be removing number 6. Oh, it's not French and Saunders, Vernier. No. Appreciate the guess at the sitcom there. Number 6 we're going to be removing now. I keep laughing to myself because I know what this is. Okay, and it never fails to make me laugh. I love it. Alright, so Jane Austen was the answer for that one. Your next question is, which author created the literary character Mary Poppins? Which author created the literary character Mary Poppins? Yes, it was from a book before it was made into a film. Which is the author that created Mary Poppins? Yes, got some more guesses in there. Let's see then what number we're going to be removing. P.L. Travers. Well done, Roy and Deirdre. Well done to Maddie as well. PL Travers is the correct answer. And we're going to be removing number 1. This might help you out a lot. Or maybe you need number 4. Yeah, number 4 might be more useful. If you don't get it after 4 and 5, I'm going to assume none of you have ever seen this before, and that makes me sad. You might not have seen this episode before. I certainly hope recognising the characters is enough to make you guess what it could be. Got all the others so quickly. Okay, the next question then is, which author, this is the last author's one, which author created the literary character Arya Stark? Which author created the literary character Arya Stark? It's not the goodies. Having a guess there at the catchphrase there, Pete. It's not the goodies. No, a bit more modern than that. Quite a long running show. It's kind of gone away and come back a fair few times. Which author created Arya Stark is the question. Next one we're going to be removing will be, go on, be number 4. Be number 4. Stop that wheel. Stop, 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 stop. Yeah. Oh no, it's gone to number 5. Well, it might still be helpful. Centre squares are often helpful. You'll certainly see more of that middle character. Mark has gone with George R.R. Martin. That's correct. It's from A Song of Ice and Fire. The Game of Thrones series. Arya Stark is from that as well. So let's remove number 5. And there's more of the middle character. They've gone a bit crazy, haven't they? Okay, I'm going to ask another question. This, I'll give you another clue as well. This is a show we referenced. It was an answer in the quiz tonight already. There you go. Now we'll see who's been writing down their answers and who's just been going from memory. So, your next question. Let's go with... Who plays in the Marvel Cinematic Universe the character known as Wanda Maximoff or the Scarlet Witch? Who played in the Marvel Cinematic Universe the character known as Wanda Maximoff or the Scarlet Witch? Who plays? Name the actress, please. Oh, we have got some more guesses in. Is that the correct answer? Feel free to guess that question as well, because Pete, Mark, Roy, you've all gone with Red Dwarf. Is that the correct answer? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. There's Cat on the left. It's Red Dwarf. I went through so many different animations to put there. I went through loads of them, and I thought I wanted one that was obviously them, and therefore obviously the show, one that was funny but also a bit obscure, just in case what happened tonight, their faces weren't revealed first. So yeah, I think it served its purpose, but I was hoping some of the others would maybe take a bit longer to guess. You're just too good, aren't you? That's the end then, everybody. How are we doing for time now? Oh, we've been okay. Right, on to the final screen and we'll say our goodbye. So, yes, as always, a special thank you to all the Patreon supporters. Next week it is your Patreon quiz. It will be open for people who want to have their free trial. If anybody is watching this who has never been on Patreon before, you are entitled to a free trial these days for one quiz. So people can do that if they want to. It's a relatively new thing Patreon introduced. Oh, Maddie says it must be the only episode I haven't seen. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you know about it at least and like it, so that's good at least. I'll let you off. But next week, yeah, we will do Patreon, and it will probably be a speed quizzing thing because I want to encourage more people to join in from where I've got most of the new support at least has come from the speed quizzing Facebook group, and of course you can only advertise speed quizzes there. It has to be from the speed quizzing app and site, which is fair enough. That's what the Facebook group's for. So I'm going to do that maybe one more time, and that will be next week. The November Patreon quiz, speed quizzing of some description, will happen. So yes, and thank you all for watching tonight. And you know where you can go to support me, links in the description. And it's been another great month of quizzes here on Facebook Live. Thank you all for your attendance and for having fun with me. And yeah, tell a friend, share what we do here. Let's get some more people watching next time. And thank you for being so kind with your comments when the kids are on doing their questions and having fun with it all. It's much appreciated. So with that said then, look after each other, stay safe as always, and take care, and I will see you all same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers, good night.